Hello and welcome to We Women Want. This is a show that is fast becoming a support group for women. It's a show by women, for women. We curate conversations that every woman really wants to hear at some point or the other. We celebrate the winners, we share the losses. But today we are having a very special conversation. We are here to felicitate someone who is helping empower women. I'm talking about the She Wing Foundation. We have, of course, the founding member with us. We have Madan Mohit Bhardwaj. We have Gurveen, who is the communication director. We also have some people who, Savita, Mamta, Shubhendu, who are here, who work for the foundation, and they're going to tell us exactly what we do. A bit about it, I can tell you, the idea is to create awareness around menstrual health. This is a topic that is usually taboo in most areas. In fact, I think only 12% of women actually have access to proper sanitary wear. What about the rest of the 88%? That is something that Madan, who is a former journalist, during his travels in rural areas to find out the stories, discovered that this is really the need of the hour, is to help people create an awareness about menstrual hygiene and also try and help them with the basics, sanitary pads. So you really are own padman of the She Wings Foundation one.
So I'm the biggest follower of the We Women Want, the show which is empowering change makers like us. And because we have been working on women health areas from several years, it's been more than 12 years. We started our journey from menstrual health, from ovarian cysts to PCOD to menopause.
Little anecdote about your journey. How did you, a journalist, start doing this?
So I was in Bihar for a story where this district's collector used to be a friend of mine. We were supposed to meet at night, but he could not turn up, right? I came back to Delhi. I was angry with him that why didn't you meet me over dinner? So he informed me that he had to, go for some postmortem, and there was 3 ladies who died in the village. So no, because my journalistic, nature asked me to dig out the fact. The fact came that these 3 ladies died because of some uncircumstantial evidences, which claims that they were using old blouse. When the fact came, I spoke to the SDM of the area, village panchayat, a lot of other women. So these ladies died because of the septic.
So she was using an old blouse as a sanitary pad.
She was using old blouse, and old blouse has got hooks.
Right.
And hooks were made of iron, right, which has got rust.
Achha.
So because of this, she got, septic, and they died. Similarly, 80% of the women in this area were using similar things. Second, when we came back to office, there used to be one lady, she used to clean our office. And every day there used to be newspapers stolen in the office. So we used to keep newspaper for archive.
Right.
So once I asked Suraj that why there is no newspaper in the office. So he said कि दीदी जो आता है वो लेके चली जाती है. And every month there were no newspapers, with the dates. So then I said why she is stealing the newspapers. Then he said sir वो लेके जाती है. Then I said कि उसको बुलाओ जरा. Then I asked lady कि आप ऐसा क्यों करते हो. Then she told me भैया वो महीना होता है मेरी बेटी को और मुझको तो I use that newspapers. I was so shocked to the extent that newspapers were used as a sanitary pad. Imagine the kind of situation women have in the rural areas, because Asli Bharat is in 85% of the areas where our reach is not there, where social media is not there. 85% of the Janta were using these products. Thanks to the government of India, in fact, our Prime Minister himself, who said that, menstrual hygiene management would be part of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan.
Right.
They constituted a committee and said that this need to be worked upon. From villages to, in the slum to, the bigger cities, still there are problems, right? Problems where women do not have, product because it's not a luxury product. It's a need. It's essential, right? And in those areas, there's a lack of, I would say, knowledge as well.
Right.
In some of the areas.
In some area, they also consider the stigma. Women who have their period are not allowed to be in the house or, have khana with the rest of the family, right?
Right. So there are these small huts, or they used to call these chappars, made for a village. Whoever is having their period, they are going to stay there for 2 to 3 days. As per the history, if we talk, they were made so that these women should not have to do all that household work and can get rest. But the real reason got lost. People got into the stigma that they should not touch the pickles, achar, they should not cook, they should not go to the temple, they should not touch any flowers, they'll get, old and they won't be that fresh. So,
we
lost the real reason.
Situations remain similar in the urban areas also. you trust me, I mean, your viewers won't believe this, but the educated ladies who's a doctor and IITian, they won't even do puja on their periods day. However, confidently they say, I'm sure even the viewers in 80%, they know they don't need to say this, but they will not do puja when they are on their periods. Either it is Navaratri or any puja, Ganesh Visarjan or anything, they will not go for a puja.
It's considered that you are unclean.
Unclean.
Yeah. So that was the first taboo that you had to, I think 2 taboos. One was shortage of, pads,
Right.
and one was the unwillingness to talk about it. How did you talk? Did you talk to the men folk also?
See, the problem is whenever our team and we goes to the areas, the biggest barrier is men in this entire process, right? Because they do not, me being a man, they do not want us to talk to their women, right?
Correct.
So we always takes our female colleagues, local the people from our volunteers team, when we tell them, right, that this is something, which you should take care of, right? You know that your woman is charming, right?
Yeah.
Then you need to take care of this. It is as important as everything, it's as good as everything. And this is a sign of healthy women, right? Even if your woman will not bleed, she will not be a mother, right? She will not be considered a woman, right? And there are problems. While, going for a menstrual hygiene campaigns, in some part of the Uttarakhand, we realized that there are some women who denied taking our product. So we have got this product which we manufactured for people, right? And we give this product because of plastic-free packaging it has got. So some women denied taking this. We spoke to the local authorities there, and in their dialect they said, "Bhaiya, हमारे घर में हम 4 बच्चियां हैं और मैं अकेली एक हूँ, 5 लोग हैं, and 5 of us are menstruating in a menstrual age, right? And हमारे पास अंडरगारमेंट्स नहीं होता है, तो हमारे घर में 6-5 लोगों में 3 अंडरगारमेंट्स होता है, जिसको पीरियड होता है अंडरगारमेंट वही पहनता है." So we were shocked that how would they use sanitary pad, and that's the reason we started a campaign called Donate Undergarments. In more than, I guess, 3 lakhs undergarments we distributed, and in the areas where women still do not wear undies, right? So this is the kind of situation, because they can't buy it. Even if they buy it, whosoever has got cycle, they will wear it. So situation,
that's considered a luxury. Forget pads. Pads are like,
yeah, it's not luxury, right? Undergarments are the most important factor to maintain a hygiene for any women.
what I'm saying is, what is important for us is a luxury for them.
Yes.
That's
It
what
is
I
not. It is not. In fact, they are not accessible to these products. So the situation remains same in the most of the country. Whereas as of now, we talk about the developed nation. If you look at the gender, I would say index internationally, our ranking has slipped from 140 to 112. 112 to 140. In fact, we need to do a lot of work on the women health. When we talk about women empowerment, I would say financial independence of a woman and the health of a woman. These are 2 main factors. A woman cannot be empowered unless she is financially independent. However rich family she got married to, her husband or father-in-law might be a super billionaire, but if she's not financially independent, she can't sustain.
That's a very strong message. But before I go on to that and the other work you're doing, you have your team members here. सविता जी, अगर आप हमें बताएंगी थोड़ा अपने बारे में कि आप क्या करती हैं और शी विंग्स फाउंडेशन से कैसे जुड़ी?
5 साल से मैंने सामान बांटते हैं।
आप करती क्या है सविता?
मैंने तो काम करते हैं।
काम करती हैं, घर में काम करती हैं?
हाँ, घर में काम
अच्छा,
करते हैं।
ठीक।
तब मैंने जब से बांटने लगे तब से सब खुश रहते हैं, अच्छा लगते हैं। जब से सर दिए लाके से तू सबके बांटो, मैं वो बेर से बांटने लगे 5 साल से।
झुग्गी में बांटने जाते हैं, होती है वो समझते हैं कि क्या बांट रहे हैं।
झुग्गी में भी बांटने जाते हैं, स्कूल में देते हैं, जहाँ जहाँ गरीब है, जिकरा पास नहीं है उनको मदद करते हैं। सर बोलते हैं जितना है उनको तू बांट दो सबके, जितना गरीब है उनको। अथी मास्क भी दिए हैं बांटने के लिए, अथी हाथ में लगाने वाला सैनिटाइजर होते हैं वो भी दिए हैं, वो भी बांटे हैं। बहुत जे सामान जूस भी बांटे हैं, देते हैं बांटने के लिए। मैं सब कुछ बांटती हूँ।
अच्छा सविता, अगर आप जब आप जाती हैं और ये मेंस्ट्रुअल पैड्स देती हैं तो लोगों को समझ आती है कि आप क्या बांट रहे हैं?
हाँ, बहुत खुश होते हैं। पहले बहुत दिक्कत रही है।
हाँ, दिक्कत के बारे में बताइए।
अब दिक्कत नहीं है। सब जाते हैं तो पहले दर्द होते रहे, कई तरह से काम करने में दिक्कत होती रहे। अब दिक्कत भी नहीं है, बोलते हैं ऐसे खुश होते हैं।
अच्छा,
देने के बाद बहुत खुश हो जाते हैं सब। जब से सर बोलते हैं ऐसे जा के सबके दो, तो जा के मैंने सबके देते हैं, जितना गरीब है
और उनको आप
देते हैं।
थोड़ा बताती भी हैं ये क्या है, ये कैसे यूज करना है, ये सब समझाना पड़ता है कि
हाँ
उनको?
समझाते हैं से मतलब जब हो जाएगा 6 घंटा के बाद तो उनको मतलब करके लिपस्टिक लगा के तो कूड़ा में डालना, ऐसे मत डालो।
अच्छा, लिपस्टिक लगा के?
हाँ मतलब टीका लगा के मतलब
टीका लगा के,
हाँ,
रेड डॉट।
ऐसे मतलब समझाते हैं।
अच्छा, what is this red dot?
So we started a campaign called Red Dot campaign. You must have seen women using a red dot on their palm. It became a global hit for us. In fact, then United Nations also started a similar campaign. So red dot signifies sanitary waste.
Right.
A woman in her lifetime disposes 380 kilogram of sanitary waste. 380.
One woman.
One woman, right? Imagine the kind of sanitary waste we are, creating for the future generation. And one average sanitary pad takes years, more than 100 years to decompose, right? What happens is we found, in fact, we are thankful to Pune Municipal Corporation who made a mandate now. So now our urban development ministry is very much focused on, dry waste and wet waste, right? Third highest waste is menstrual waste. So what happens is when, our kachra wala comes and they take entire waste, this goes in a last area where you must have seen that some, kachra walas, they go and they segregate the waste there, right? So what happens is, throw your food waste or a plastic waste, they also get in contact with the menstrual waste. Because of this, there are average 15 deaths per year. There are 15 deaths because of the menstrual waste. So we have made everyone aware that there is something called red dot, which signifies sanitary waste. Okay, so if there is any product, so like there in the dustbin and there is a red dot, so now there is understanding that there would be a menstrual waste. So it needs to be discarded in a different dustbin, different box, and then different dher of kachra. So it helps them to for their health also, right?
Right.
Because in coming contact with the menstrual waste, there is a lot of problem, lot of disease, infections, right? So we have made them understood that you can use a red sketch or red, anything. So the
red lipstick.
Red lipstick is the term which she uses.
Very nice and very good term, because you totally understood what one is talking about. I'm going to take a break and hear some more about the good work that She Wings is doing. A lot of fascinating work. They're also doing work in creating awareness in breastfeeding and other good habits. So I'm going to take a good break. Hello and welcome back to We Women Want. Today we are here with the founder of She Wings Foundation. We are here with the members also and discussing about the kind of work they do. Before the break, we were talking about awareness regarding menstrual hygiene. But I also noticed you also, when you're meeting the people, you also talk to the women about the importance of breastfeeding and other issues you pick up also.
Right. So breastfeeding, we had these campaign, Yes I Bleed, for menstrual hygiene. Breastfeeding was the campaign which was kept in mind, the urban section of women who are working women. Breastfeeding is an issue with the working moms. It's not an issue with the lower middle income group or people in villages.
That's what I was wondering.
People in villages, in fact, if mother doesn't breastfeed, then Masi breastfeed. If she's on a same, situation, or any other family member. In fact, mother's friend also breastfeed the other kid, right? But in the urban section, the more educated women we feel. So it's the survey which our team held. The working women do not like to, they hesitate for the breastfeeding. The reasons might be different. There might be reason for the duct, right? They do not have proper milk there. Something is about the figure also. They have this preconceived notion, or I would say hesitant, that their figure will not be in the same shape. Third might be lot of time and then lot of things. So what our expert and our lacticians has focused, so they are having workshops in these offices, in the areas, RWAs, and telling the importance that the breast milk is the most important nutrition for a child. In fact, a mother who is on breastfeed, her entire figure or a body structure comes in the right shape just because if she's a breastfeeding, right? So why to ignore breastfeeding?
Right.
And in fact, most of the gynaes and lacticians says the first milk shall not be a top feed, right? It shall be always a breastfeed, right? And the survey and study says the kid whoever has got the breastfeed first, their mind, their body, it is more sharper than anyone who is not on a breastfeed. right?
That is one way of convincing the women to.
No, the survey says, trust
sir.
me, the mother's milk has got so much of nutrition. In some of the countries, they started some campaign like, to donate breastfeed milk. The entire process is quite difficult for us. We also thought of it during COVID, and we had got in touch with India's top hospitals where some mother died, right? And their child was needing a breastfeed. Then the entire process is too technical and difficult. You need to have a lot of consent from a mother. You need to get her checkup. Then the breast milk need to be kept on a certain temperature. Then it need to reach out to the child also. But I mean, I'm sure the lactation and the science says that mother's milk is the most nutritious food for a child.
Okay.
Right. So what we have done is we have used our entire volunteers and a group of I'm Indore, I'm Shillong, ISB, then we have with the group of help of people who are settled there, they're alumni, right? We are reaching out to corporates now that you shall focus on the breastfeed. And we have started a campaign also called Feed the Future.
Nice line. Nice one. But Govind, who are the volunteers? He said IAMs, and also how do you get the volunteers and where are they from?
So these volunteers are not only students but are senior doctors and people in good corporates at good positions who are themselves volunteering. And they have their own network, like specifically North India, if I say, the major network is from Punjab, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, all the regions. So these people have their own people in the cities, right, who basically help us in the distribution process. So
you have some boys also on your team.
Yes, Shubhendra is there, who is networking in the rural areas and who's talking to people, talking to the government stakeholders, and that's how we are reaching there. So he will tell us our difficult journey also, that how it is difficult to reach out to people. Sometimes they said, हमको सरकार से कुछ नहीं चाहिए. Sometimes they ask, नहीं हमको वोट नहीं बनवाना है. So these women actually doesn't know that what exactly we are offering them.
Shubhendra, you want to share something?
Ma'am, when I first joined, sir.
What do you do otherwise? What is you're full time with him or you do something else?
Now I'm full time with him. So at first, we really have a lot of problems. People are really feel scared. What are you giving us? In the rural areas, they have very
suspicious.
They are not ready to have a conversation, a first conversation also.
So very delicate subject for a man to have a conversation with a woman. So do you have a
problem? We are
or
trying.
You reach the husbands.
Yeah, we are trying to create awareness amongst the men also.
I see.
Because when a man understands how difficult is for their females and for their wives, sisters, mothers, then we'll get to have the proper solution, na?
Yeah, right. No, I like the concept. You showed us the what you're distributing. They're biodegradable, the pads.
So the packaging is always plastic free, right? The chances of pad being biodegradable is like 99.99% no.
Okay.
Why? Because there is, I would say, gel inside it, right? And one consumer need to understand, if the pad would be biodegradable, then there would be wetness. Right? And women don't prefer wetness, right? If the pad is biodegradable, there would be redness.
Yeah.
Okay? And redness and a clotting there on the particular area. Whereas women do not, a consumer do not want a redness and wetness. So it's like a pad, right? So I'll show you if you allow me.
Please, yes.
Right? So if you go for a technical thing, so let's say this is a pad, right? And this remains a top sheet which we use it on the vagina, right? Yeah. So when you go this and use the vagina, so this area has got a gel inside it, right, which absorb the blood, right? With this help of the anion chip and the entire blood get distributed
it's
to the layer, right?
Fall.
Right. The point is, if your product is biodegradable, then you need to understand it will have a wetness because it is cotton, right? And the blood clotting would be there. It will not be spread like this.
Got it.
Okay. So these are two important factors, but most of the consumer understood it, right? But if it is scented, it has got a fragrance, then it means there is something added into it. I will not name any particular brand, right? But consumer need to be very well aware, right? Because it's a pure, this will create a lot of waste. And this take at least more than 100, 200 years to get decomposed. So from one, in fact, a lot of governments and a lot of organizations now distributing free sanitary pads. Free sanitary pad, there's a problem for entire globe. In fact, UN is very, very much concerned about the entire factor for a sanitary waste. Be a, I would say, be a smart consumer. Use anything and discard it properly. Discard is a problem, right? We shall not
carry a lipstick marker with you.
Yeah, if you have a lipstick, then it's good. Otherwise, you can make a red dot. And don't throw it in plastic ever, right? I've seen, in fact, Savita ji will tell better. In some of the areas, in household affair, in flats or any other areas, the undergarments, right, which would be not on a proper layer, it would be either under of a bed sheet, towel, so that nobody watches it, right? What happens is, because of this, it doesn't come in contact with the UV rays, right? When the sunlight doesn't go there, it means there is something, the chances of infections are higher.
Right.
सविता जी कैसे छुपा के रखते हैं घर में जो अंडरगारमेंट्स या पैंटी रहता है उसको, धूप में क्यों नहीं सुखाते हैं लोग?
हाँ, शर्म लगते हैं। अब मतलब नहीं सुखाते, अब सुखाने लगे हैं, पहले शर्म लगते रहे।
आप उनको बताते हैं?
अब बताते हैं मैंने, तो अब शर्म नहीं लग रही है, अब सब सुखा रही है।
आप जुड़े कैसे शी विंग्स के साथ? और आपको
मेरा जुड़ा है, मतलब बोले से सविता जी अब तू यही काम करो, तू बांटो सब गरीब सके।
अच्छा,
तेल करो गरीब सके, मदद करो। स्कूल में देना है, झुग्गी उग्गी में देना है, जहाँ जहाँ गरीब है तहाँ मैं पहुँचाते हैं।
अरे वाह,
जहाँ जहाँ।
ममता क्या करती है? ममता भी
हाँ, ममता जी भी करते हैं।
कुछ
मैं भी वही करती हूँ, वही 5 साल से मैं भी जुड़ी हूँ।
5 साल से?
मैं अलीगढ़ तक पहुँचाया, अलीगढ़ में भी मैंने बांटा है।
अच्छा,
हाँ, अलीगढ़ में हम रहती हूँ, अलीगढ़ में गरीब का था, गरीब को हम सबको बांटा है मैंने।
तो पहले आप यही इस्तेमाल करते थे या कुछ और करते थे?
मैं पहले कपड़ा लगाती थी पहले
कपड़ा करते थे।
हाँ, फिर उसके बाद है ना ये आदत सबसे सर देने लगा, फिर वही कच्चा पहन लिया, फिर वही पहनती।
फिर आपको अवेयरनेस हुआ कि
हाँ, सबको मैंने भी अलीगढ़ ले जाके सब गरीब को बांटा मैंने।
शाबाश, वेल डन। पर आप और भी you also in a way become a counseling center, because when you go at least the women, when they're talking to women, I'm sure they would be talking about the other problems.
I'll tell you a very interesting fact. In fact, while reading out a PCOD, ovarian cyst and all these subjects, so when I used to study, so there used to be 10 windows, right, 10 tabs open to my laptop. My mother used to look and she used to say, "Is ladke ko kya hua? Why is he's reading all that subjects?" So what happens is now, because, not only related to women health, but friends of mine, people, they had considered me their gynae especially, right? So even if somebody is having a delayed period, see, out of 10, 8%, I would say PCOD and ovarian cyst is so common these days because of our lifestyle, food, and a lot of things, because a lot of stress also, that out of 10, 8 girls will have PCOD and ovarian cyst, right? Because of this, there might be a lot of thoughts in our mind, right? And when it comes to proper knowledge, doctor always says, do not trust your Google, right? Whenever people like educated class go to a doctor, we read out, my periods has got delayed, right? What is the reason? So Google always say you've got a cancer, right? So don't trust Google, trust a counselor or a doctor or somebody who has a subject knowledge. So for instance, there are a lot of subjects which we have studied, a lot of research. 90% question remain similar. Girls who are in school or who aged from 13 to now, because the cycle age has also gone down, right? It used to be 16, 15 earlier. Now, in fact, 10-year or 11-year-old girl child is having period because of their food, a lot of activities they are into, right? So they are more educated than the women they used to be in 80s or 90s. So the subject knowledge is very, very important. And especially somebody who has got their first period, second period, they are more scared about it. And they learn these things from their mother. Sometime, because now every girl child or a boy or a girl, they have got a phone on their Instagram account or social media accounts. They use their mother's phone, right? So they then check there. Right, a lot of mother shares that they go to the history and they check my girl is, my daughter is reading about it.
The search history.
Yeah, search history.
Right.
So they don't communicate with mothers, and that's how they get into a wrong sort of, I would say, practices.
The wrong information.
Yes.
Yeah, misinformation basically we call it.
Misinformation, yes, thank you. But we are out of time, but thank you so much. I think you're doing a brilliant work. I would really like everyone to give you a big round of applause for something that you've done.
Thank you so much.
We hope that we are able to help you in creating an awareness and support, because that is something we would like to support.
In
definitely.
fact, NewsX and India News Network is the savior at the difficult time, and you've created a special show for empowering women. What would be the better way of supporting the women in the country by We Women Want? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, that's it for this week. We'll see you again same time next week.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.